The history of Moratuwa. We spoke of the history of Bolgoda, about Prince Rijidev, and about the Kokila Sandesh. Let's get more elaborate history, elaborate history of the history of Moratuwa. Moratuwa, earliest records of Moratuwa, as I told you before, was in the singular chronicles of Koholu Sandesha. There it mentions of Moratuwa and Laksapati. In Moratuwa, as the story goes on, there was a very strong character young boy emerged as a son of Moratuwa. He was Veera Purang Appu. Veera Purang Appu, as a small boy, very courageous, and he was trying to go down in history at a later stage. What did he do? He left home. He left home and goes to Kandy, and he takes shelter under his uncle, who was the first singular lawyer in Ceylon. Veera Purang Appu from Kandy, he reaches up to Mathali, the verge of the Mathali Canal. You hear there were rebellions, the Kandian rebellion, and this was the Mathali Kerala. At this moment, Veera Purang Appu took the leadership. He fought, he was very strong, very courageous, he was quite violent, and he fought the British imperialists in view of saving the country from foreign rule. But he was apprehended by the British and he was shot dead. He is a hero today, and today you get the Veera Purang Appu Vidyalaya. He's a hero. He's a hero among the Ceylonese. Although he was a terror for the British, he was a freedom fighter for the country of Sri Lanka at that time. Then Veera Purang Appu's story goes down there. Then his body was buried in Mathali. Even now, I suppose you go to Mathali, you can go up to his graveyard at Mathali. But his memory of his school, the Veera Purang Appu Mahavidyalaya, is at Moratuwa. And if I'm not wrong, late Honorable Tiran Fernando is having some strains or a successor, if I'm not wrong, of Veera Purang Appu. He's also had done a wonderful service to this region and to the country, Honorable Tiran Fernando. And after Veera Purang Appu emerges another historic figure. He is Charles Henry de Soisa. Charles Henry de Soisa, born in Moratuwa. He was an unusual personality. He was a great business entrepreneur, an industrialist, and he was the richest and the biggest landowner of Ceylon in the late 19th century. He had property all over the country. He bought up most of the he emerged in the coffee era. He bought up most of the coffee estates like Marigold and two others, and he replanted them with tea, and they were really successful, and they found a very good yield and very good quality tea, fetching high prices at the London auctions, bringing a lot of revenue to the country. And then what else we do? he owned so much of property all over. And when he was so fond, and then was a prominent business magnate. He was well recognized in society, the richest man in the country. When Queen Victoria, her first son was Albert, her younger son was Alfred. When Prince Alfred paid a royal visit to Ceylon, the state humbly requested Sir Charles Henry de Soisa to give a reception to the prince. And thereby, Charles Henry de Soisa holds a grand reception at his Bagatale Balaua, his Bagatale house or residence, which is also his castle itself, at Kolpiti. And ever since that Bagatale residence becomes Alfred House, and the road to that residence, so many and all those lands were also his. So they became Alfred House Garden, Alfred Terrace, Alfred Place, and even the Durden's Hospital today, they're all properties of Charles Henry de Soisa. Then he did not stop at that. With all his good money, he has a good, humble, charitable heart, and is a good philanthropist and a patriot of the mother country of Sri Lanka. Then it was called Ceylon, and emerging from the British days. So with all his wealth, he started doing a lot to the society and the country. As the richest businessman, he and a philanthropist, he started off, just to name a few, the De Soisa Nursing Home to start off with, and then coming down, he does in Moratuwa, he starts the Prince of Wales College, then he starts De Soisa Flats, and so in Moratuwa, he starts Prince of Wales College, De Soisa Flats, the Carpenters Guild, and so much. And then he becomes Sir Charles Henry de Soisa and his wife Lady de Soisa. Someone who's done so much to this country of Sri Lanka. After Charles Henry de Soisa, we hear of Pandit Amaradeva born here, and also several others which I can't really, it's sad to say, especially musicians like the Gypsies and so many which I had to probe into, are all from Moratuwa. And you even who is Sarvodaya is also at Moratuwa. Moratuwa is a gold mine yet to be explored, and it's something you could never fathom. So, in one of the countries that has a gold mine in Ceylon, is one of the regions, is the oldest regions as you see. You see, Gaul is a very old region. In the Portuguese land, they are very old regions from the time of King Solomon. So along with Gaul, another region is Moratuwa. I think they are all very old, even older than Colombo. The new parcels like Norelia, others, they were all discovered. For instance, Norelia was only discovered, it's a beautiful region, my hometown. It was discovered in 1819 by Dr. Lee. If you want to see my video clips, I am Dallit Zahir, an historian. You go into the history of Norelia, anywhere in the world, you can see my discourses or my features or whatever it is. Or in the Facebook, you can see my, go to the Sri Lankan history channel, all mine. And the YouTube, I done about 1,700 video clips. I'm a movie maker as well. And most of them are historic. You should know your history, you should know your heritage. If not, you lose your identity, you lose everything. So we must save ourselves, save our motherland, save everything. We have a heritage. We can't leave this country to just be taken by a right by any foreign element or anybody else. It is a good country, it's a Sinhala country, undoubtedly. The Muslims are here as traders from the time of Ibn Battuta and all, and we are their friends. And they were married to the Sinhalese, and when the Arabs, they got married, and the Moors of Ceylon, the Trinity, the mothers of Sinhalese and fathers were Arabs. And we are all a part of this nation and will be always with them. So, with that I conclude Ali Zahir, and we'll be back to base, back to our hometown in Colombo, and then actually I should get to Norelia, my home. And with that, the series of my historical research of Borguda is coming to an end, of Moratuwa. Good luck, goodbye, we'll see you soon. You can always catch me in my Facebook as Ali Zahir, or in the YouTube as HM Zahir. Good luck, goodbye. It's Ali Zahir calling you from Moratuwa. And to my good Muslim friends, Assalamu alaikum. Get ready for your fast. It's round the corner.